Yeah, I think it's always been super important to me to have a community surrounding me in everything I do. When you walk through these trials and being an athlete, it's hard. It's hard to be an athlete right now. It's hard to be elite right now. It's hard to be the best at something right now because there's constant pressure on us. There's constant pressure to perform in the classroom, the weight room, the court, the field. It never stops. It never goes away. It never ends. How do I explain it?
No, just say it.
My mom always tells me, like, the faith I have and the discernment I have and the maturity I have is very rare. And I'm always like, yeah, like, that's me. But I've been reminded recently that it's not me. It's not. It's God. And in my study of Proverbs 31, I've learned that you can try and try and try and try and try to be this most amazing woman of God you can ever be in your life, right? Like the most patient, the most loving, the most hardworking, the most diligent. And you can try by yourself. That is so exhausting. Trying to be this best version of yourself every single day, all by yourself, working out, going to practice, going to school, trying to love your friends well, trying to love your parents well. If you have a relationship, trying to have time for that. It's so exhausting. I've been there. I get it. It's so exhausting. But then when you surrender it and you're like, God, like, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. But yet, He, on the cross, said it was finished. It was finished way back then. You are good enough. But you're good enough because of Jesus, living in Jesus.
How did all this come about?
The Victory House Productions. How did it start? It's really funny, actually. It all started with me not supposed to go to dinner, me debating going to dinner, and then me showing up and meeting the cameraman, Greg. I honestly, it's a God thing, and that's all I can say. Because my mom was doing a networking event, and Greg was there, and I come out there, and I was like, I don't want to be here, I'm going to go sit in my car till she's done. And then I met Greg. And we got to talking. I don't even know how, but we got on the topic of Jesus and sports and everything, and he was like, Elizabeth, you gotta get in front of a camera. And I was like, right, okay, let's do it. Scared to death, terrified. I was like, what does this mean? And we go and we film something, and he's like, this is amazing, like, what do you want to do with it? And I was like, I don't know. Like, what do you think? He's like, think about it. Let's think about it. Let's create something special. And then I got to go and have an amazing experience in Portsmouth, right? Meeting Antoine and Dan and everyone else and Meg and especially Antoine. He was a producer for ESPN, and he was telling me what he did, and I just fell in love. I always knew I wanted to help people. Not in the way of being a doctor or a teacher or something along that, but I wanted to help people get connected. I've been in sports my entire life. I've been around it. I've been in it. I know nothing else. So when it started to become really real that, okay, my future's coming up, what do I want to do? I sat down and I was like, okay, how do I help people in sports? It went from I wanted to be an agent to I wanted to be a coach to I wanted to be a marketing person for them, a social media person for teams, and then I was like, I want to create stories. I want to tell people stories. I want people to be able to get in front of a camera and tell who they really are. Behind the mask. That every single one of us has to put on every single day. Well, the Victory House Productions, geez, it's here. And I am so excited for what the Lord's going to do through it. Yeah. Can you hand me my notebook? Because I have more stuff. Let me grab it. So I had stuff that I wrote down. I was like, I really want to say this. Let's look at what it is.
You just take your time and sit down.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Goodlett. I'm a volleyball player. Most importantly, I'm a producer. And together,
All right, cut.
we're going to change the world. It's just bullet points. Okay. Can I put it down here? Can you see it?
No, I think it's kind of raw, even if you read it, because you're human,
Okay.
and it's almost like you wrote a letter and how intentional you are. But that perfection is in you. Wow.
Got it. Okay. I believe that this channel, that Victory House Productions, will change somebody's life. My life has been changed, and I have seen the goodness of God. And that is something special. And I want everyone else to get to experience that.
Why?
Because I've been in places that I don't ever want to go back to. I've dealt with anxiety, I've dealt with depression, I've dealt with loss, I've dealt with injury, I've dealt with sickness. But I've also dealt with wins, with highs, with getting that team you really wanted, getting the starting position. And nothing compares to Jesus. And being an athlete and knowing Jesus, it's elevated my game. I walk onto the court and I just get to have fun. And I always tell myself, okay, go have fun, because when you have fun is when you play good. But everyone has been told that once in their life by a coach. But it's so true. When you don't play with this pressure of having to be amazing and the best and not making a mistake, which I'm not gonna lie, I still play with that sometimes. But now I try to play with just the mentality of, I get to do this and I love what I do, and the Lord has given me the legs to be able to do it when I didn't have them. I now have a new sense of gratitude towards the sport, and I want everyone to remember that if you are burnt out, it's okay. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to fail. It's okay to give up. What's not okay is staying down.
What's your approach to getting people connected?
I want athletes.
No, your approach.
My approach.
There's a lot of people that, Jesus who?
Right.
How are you going to reach those people through stories? What can people expect?
Loving Jesus can be a hard topic for a lot of people. Living for Jesus can be a topic that a lot of people want to avoid. A lot of people have misinterpreted Jesus through Christians who are very judgmental, hypocritical. But here at the Victory House, we want people to see the raw goodness of Jesus through athletes who are really good at what they do, but also aren't just trying to be victorious on the field, on the court, but also victorious in their faith. They're running this race with endurance. They know it's not a sprint. It's a steady, easy jog. They know that days are going to be hard because Jesus does not, hear me, he does not promise easy days. He actually tells us that our days will probably be harder. And to me, I've always been like, well, then why would I follow you? I don't want my days to be harder. My days are already hard. But as I've walked through hard days with Jesus, some of the darkest days of my life, where I had everything taken away from me, I noticed that the hard days are so much easier because it's not me fighting. I let God fight my battles. I'm here worshiping. I'm here. The only part of my life, the only point is to worship and to magnify his name. So my whole goal in the Victory House Productions, to magnify Jesus. To let you guys see who Jesus really is. Through ordinary people, athletes that you might have watched or you might know their names. Get to know them. Get to understand why they play their sport. What makes them such a great athlete. But I also want y'all to know that these people are human. They walk through hard things just like you. You are not less than. You are not less important. We are all children of God, and we all have different talents that we get to bring. I don't have the same talent you do. You don't have the same talents I do. And there's something so special and so beautiful about that.
What is your real why? Like your real why?
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about that because I knew you were going to ask that question, and I wanted to be ready. Well, we're coming up on a year mark of me having knee surgery, about a month away. And I had struggled, so some little backstory. My kneecap has popped out 6 times since 7th grade, and I am now going into my junior year of high school. So, it was a long time coming. But I ended up having surgery last year on the first day of nationals. And I had everything taken away from me. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand on my own.
Was it hard?
Of course it was.
How hard?
I never let anybody see that I actually had a really hard time with it. Of course, I believed that God was working it for the good and that his plans for me were good, and I was going to come back 10 times stronger, and I was going to work my butt off to get back because that's just who I am. But when it was me alone in my room, the only thing I could tell God was why. I had a season coming up in my sophomore season at Liberty. I was really excited for it. My plan was to do some amazing things, to go win state, to defend our district title, to bring together this team that I was so excited to play with. I was getting to play with 2 seniors who I love, and then it was taken away. All overnight. It was hard. It was hard to sit there on the bench watching your team play and have fun and love the game of volleyball and laugh and grind, work out in the weight room. And me knowing I couldn't do it. Like, I physically could not do it. And there was nothing I could change. I just had to sit and watch them do it. All I could do was my band exercises, which I hope I never have to do again. But it was so mentally draining. Watching these girls play without me, getting to watch my best friends play, and me sitting on the bench doing stats. All I wanted to do was be back on the court.
Are you back?
Oh, I'm back. I've been back for a couple months now, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably been one of the hardest seasons of my life. I never thought the mental part of it would be harder than actually getting back. I'm not gonna lie, I remember stepping on the court for the first time when I first came back and absolutely terrified. And then I get back into the gym where I popped my knee at a place I don't even know how many times, and I had to play on the court. And I was like, nope, not doing it. But one of my favorite sayings that if you know me, you know I say it a lot, is feel the fear and do it anyway. Because we serve a God who doesn't feel that fear. He sees the mountain moved when we just see the mountain. And we see the struggle and the heartbreak and the tears. He sees on the other side the joy, the perseverance, how much stronger we are because of it. I am now grateful for everything I went through with my knee, the 4.5 months out, because during that time, I saw the goodness of God. What I want y'all to see through me, through this production, through these documentaries, I want you to see the goodness of God. And guys, I hope as y'all are watching this, y'all are so encouraged. Because I know what it's like to be alone. I know what it's like to fight battles that nobody knows about. I know what it's like to keep things to yourself, to not lean on the people around you, but here I am encouraging you. Lean on your support system. They are here for you. They love you. Watch these documentaries and feel encouraged, supported, because we're rooting for you over here. We want y'all to succeed. We want y'all to know that Jesus is good even when your circumstances are not.
Why do you want to do this?
I want to give athletes a community to be encouraged, to be cheered for, to be supported, to help fill their cup back up on the dark days, the hard days. Because the truth is, it's hard to be an athlete. It's hard to be elite. It's hard to be the best. It's hard to be an athlete. It's hard to be elite. It's hard to be the best. There's constant pressure on all of us to be elite in the classroom, to be elite on the court, on the field, in the weight room. It never stops. It never goes away. It never fades. It's hard to be an athlete.
Do you struggle with failure?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Who doesn't what?
Struggle with failure. I have never met an athlete who has never had the thought of, what if I fail?
What about you?
Of course I do. I've been playing this sport since I was 8 years old.
Of course you what?
Of course I struggle with failure. The thought of it, the thought of letting my family down, who has supported me through everything, who has paid for everything, for all the lessons, for all the years of playing club volleyball. Of course I struggle with letting them down. My team, my school, my coaches, everyone who has poured into me and has stood by me through my knee surgery. Just getting back, the mentality that I had to have getting back, the mental blocks that I had coming back from being out for 4.5 months. They lifted me up when I couldn't walk, when I couldn't stand up on my own. They were there right next to me. So now that it's getting close to being like real in a way of playing Division I volleyball, the thought of letting my entire support system down and my school down and my club down, it haunts me sometimes.
Let me ask, why do you put so much pressure on yourself, Elizabeth?
I put so much pressure on myself because I'm competitive. You have to be. I've always told myself at the end of the day, it's just me. It's a terrible mentality to have, by the way. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be my biggest cheerleader, my biggest critic. Break yourself down so nobody else can, right? That got me nowhere. Just letting you know. Nowhere. If it wasn't for the coaches I've had this year that took such a heavy load into mental health this year and really just walked alongside me, even though I'm very stubborn. They walked alongside me and told me, hey, let me coach you. You just do what you need to do. Don't coach yourself. Because I'm 16 years old. I do not have all the answers. When it comes to my sport, when it comes to life, when it comes to what to do, God knows I do not have all the answers.
Is it a failure if you don't play Division I?
To me, yes. Not because anything is less than at all. Playing collegiate athletics is as hard, like one of the hardest things that you're gonna ever do. D3, D2, D1, JUCO, whatever you go, it's hard.
But your caliber, is it a failure if you don't play D1?
It's what little me always imagined. It's what little me always dreamed of. I want to make her proud. If she could see me now, I don't know what she would say. She's always been super strong-willed. You kind of have to be. You got to be able to stand up for yourself. In this world, in this day and age as an athlete, you have to be strong. Not just physically strong, emotionally strong, mentally strong. You can't just have one of them. They all have to work at the same time. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. There has been countless days where I've bawled my eyes out on the court, in the weight room, in the locker room. But it hasn't been since recently, since I had it all taken away from me. When I actually had to sit down and reflect on who I was as a person outside of volleyball, which literally took me 3 weeks to actually understand who I was, whose I was. You start to understand that your sport is not what defines you. At the end of the day, when you go to bed, you are way more than just an athlete. Way more than just a competitor. You're a human. You have flaws. You make mistakes. You fail. But it's okay. It's okay to fail, as long as you fail forward. You can't look back into the past. Who you were yesterday is who you were yesterday. It's not who you are today, and it's not who you are tomorrow. Every single day, you wake up and you have a fresh start. I have to remind myself that in volleyball. Volleyball is a game of mistakes. It's literally a game where you win off of somebody else's mistakes. Or you lose off of your own mistakes. That can be so challenging to a young girl's mind. Building.
How that swag?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Goodlett. I'm a producer, and I'm building a community for athletes through athletes. I want them. Baby! Okay,
Let's tell it. Like, have that boldness. No smile.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Goodlett, and I'm a producer. I'm building a community for athletes to tell their story, and if you're an athlete and you have a story, let's tell it. Let's change this world, one story at a time.